Okay, so this is tutorial 2, and in this tutorial what we're going to be doing is working with images. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to bring in our image. So I've already got this pre-saved. This is Taylor Momsen from Pretty Reckless, lead singer. So we're taking a bit of a musical theme today. So we've got our image imported in. Okay. Now, when you're working with images, what you want to do is to work on a separate tab than your front cover. Do all the image editing, okay, or the majority of the image editing on a separate tab, and then use the move tool and move that into your front cover. Okay. First step then is unlocking the background layer. So you can see it's locked by the padlock. So if you double click on that, it opens up this. We don't need to name it today because we're just editing and we're going to take it somewhere else. Click OK. Right, so the Magic Wand tool is a selection tool. And what this does is it allows you to select part of an image, okay, from the background, because we don't want this white background. Okay, so the Magic Wand tool is 4 down from the top. There's a couple of tools within this. If you click and hold, you've got Quick Selection tool, which we'll come to in a sec, and then Magic Wand tool. So select that. Just want to draw your attention to this bit here. So the main adjustment that you want to be thinking about is your tolerance. Okay, and this tells Photoshop how much of the shade you want to select. So if we click on there, you can see just around here it's selecting part of that t-shirt. Okay, so that tells me we need to bring the tolerance down. As with Photoshop, a lot of it's trial and error. Okay, so you've got to just play around with it till it works. So it's got a nice outline at the top there. Okay, so if we press delete, what that does is it takes away and deletes that white colour. Okay, I'm going to do around here, you can just sort of build up a picture. Okay, it's like this. Just tidy it up like so. Get rid of all of the bits that you don't want. Okay. What you can also do, to tidy it up even further, is you can go to your eraser tool and you can just, right, this is quite interesting. You notice down here, I tried to erase that. Let's go down. But you've still got these marching ants, we call them marching ants. Often in Photoshop you'll find yourself trying to delete things, but the tool is unresponsive. What you need to do, if you've got these marching ants, that's just telling you that there's still part of the image selected. If you press Command and D, that will disappear. And now we'll be able to use our eraser tool. Okay, you can go down and you can tidy up. Like so, okay, so that is the Magic Wand tool. Okay, use it for certain purposes. You don't want to be using it all the time because there's different tools which I'm going to talk about now that will perhaps do a better job. Okay. So to help us with these other selection tools, I'm going to bring in another image. Okay, so I'm going to File and Open, and I'm going to use this image here. So this guy is Nick Cave from Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Quite an interesting image, this one. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to use the Quick Selection tool. This one's quite a good one. Okay, so hover over, you can see it's part of the Magic Wand, and it's this one here. So I've clicked and hold, okay, it's this one, okay. And what you do, you just click part of the image, and what Photoshop will do is it will, see the marching ants, you can select the image, I would say with a little bit more precision. Okay, you can see here. And the reason why we're doing this is to get rid of unwanted background. Okay. Another tip here is you can see this bit. You can see it's sort of gone over a little bit. We want to correct that. So if you hold down the Alt button, what you'll see in the centre of that circle will change to a minus. So you can play around with it a little bit more. Okay, so that's selected the whole image there. Okay, but what you can also do is you can refine edge. Okay, so what that does is it tells you what it will look like on a white background. And you can see it's a little bit sort of jagged around the edges. You can play around with this. You can smooth, okay, like that, and that just sort of tidies up those pixels around the edge. You can feather it. This is, I suppose, used sparingly. You can create a nice effect depending on what you're going for. You can add contrast, so you can sharpen up that line, like so, and you can shift the edge, okay, either inwards or outwards. That goes by percentages. Okay. So once you're happy with it, you click OK. Right, so that's selected that image and it's gone back and it's reverted back. Okay. Okay, so when you're working with the quick selection tool, you can't actually delete the background, especially when you've been using the refine edge tool. Okay. So what we can do, and this is what I said earlier, you edit images in one tab and then drag it into the other. So we can see here that's selected. I can just take this, okay, drag it into the other one, which is this image here, and bring that in, okay, just like so. Okay, you could Command and T to transform, okay, holding down Shift button, and you can add that to that image there. Final thing I'm going to show you is how to use the magnetic lasso tool. So I'm going to take back to the other image here, and this one is under, it's the third one down, okay. You've got the lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool. You can experiment with the other two, but I think this magnetic lasso tool is the best one to use, okay. So what you do is you just click on the image. What it does is it just hugs the outside of the image. It puts down these little markers. Whenever you come to somewhere a little bit tricky, you can actually press the mouse key and put in those markers yourself. Okay? Sometimes around hair especially, it can be quite tricky, okay, or where there's not much contrast on the image. Okay. So you can see here, if you go off as well, what you can do is hit delete, and that will bring you back down to it. Okay. So you're going to take a lot more time on yours, okay, to get the edge really perfect. Top tip as well, when you're taking images, make sure if you want to separate it in the background, make sure you've got an image with nothing too busy going on in the background. It'll be easier for you to do. Okay, so we're nearing the end. Okay, so if you just hover around, you can see now the little icon, you get that circle, and that's telling Photoshop that the selection is complete. Okay, so you can adjust this in the same way. You can go to Refine Edge and sort of get that selection looking even better. And then you can, once you're happy with it, you can drag and move it wherever you want. Okay, so that concludes this tutorial. So just to recap there, what we've used, the selection tools, which is the magic wand, the quick selection tool, and the magnetic lasso. Okay, thank you very much.